of Allegiance led by the Honorable Vice President Patrick Brockway. All right, welcome back, everyone. This is the June 1st, 2026 study session of the Livonia City Council. This meeting sets the agenda for the 2043rd regular meeting, which is a voting meeting that will take place on Monday, June 15th, where tonight's items will be officially voted on. We lost Carrie in the intermission. She had to get home, but we will move right into our agenda. For audience communication, we've set aside 30 minutes for anything that is not on the agenda. Good evening, sir. Name and address, please. You have 3 minutes.
Steve King, Coventry Gardens. I just want remind folks to check out my reels that I put on Facebook. You don't have to have a Facebook account to go on there and look at them, and most of them are getting 5,000 to 10,000 views, lots of likes, lots of comments. But I am the voice in the wilderness on this millage. My last reel, I talked about the 3 full-page ads in Livonia Today, and talked about people asking the critical question, who's going to profit from this? So, we are constantly told by the city that if the millage fails, our police and fire departments will face devastating cuts. We are told that active police staffing will plummet and emergency response time will suffer. This is a scare tactic designed to force taxpayers into a corner, and it relies on a classic political bait and switch. Think about how the state markets the Michigan lottery. Voters were promised that lottery profits would be in addition to school funding. Instead, lawmakers used those billions to substitute regular funding. They took the general fund money that should have gone to schools, moved it elsewhere, and used the lottery to plug the hole. The schools never saw a net bonus. This is exactly the same shell game that is happening right here in Livonia. Public safety is not a luxury or an optional add-on. It's the most fundamental core duty of local government. It belongs at the very top of our city's standard general fund budget. But by separating public safety into a dedicated millage, this city has freed up millions in regular tax dollars. What happens to that freed up general fund money? It gets diverted away from essential services and into non-essential capital projects, administrative expenses, and bloated proposals like the failed $150 million Livonia Built Plan that voters already soundly rejected last year. When you tell us that public safety will be cut if this millage fails, you are admitting that you value non-essential projects over our first responders. You are using our first responders as human shields to protect a mismanaged budget. And I point out savings. Bob Bigger came forward today, talked about the salt. I had a conversation with him. He said if they had gone to my deal, they could have saved $100,000. Every meeting, I'm pointing out wasteful spending. So I hope people will vote no and yes on accountability.
Good evening. Name and address for the record, please. You have 3 minutes.
Katie Rogowitz, Livonia. I just wanted to touch on the spree issue again, just real quick, because I know that no one here is really in charge of the spree, except I know, Councilwoman, you are. I did pose a question. I called the Livonia Fire Marshal in regards to the perimeter fence that would be around the spree, because it would need more than those 2 entrances that the spree claims it will have. And what was weird is I was on Facebook and I asked them about this, and they answered and then proceeded to block me. Really petty behavior. So I'm just wondering, I wouldn't be surprised if at some point people are starting to be like banned from the spree. I mean, that seems really weird. I know that no one can really answer. Well, no one really ever responds, but I know that Councilwoman McDonald said that she spoke with somebody at the Traffic Bureau, and got an email response pretty quickly, which is weird. I've been a resident for 11 years, and over the years we've had traffic issues in my neighborhood where the police department has referred me to the traffic bureau, and I've never received a phone call back. So I was just wondering if maybe someone could give me the officer's name so maybe I could email them, because he doesn't return phone calls. So I also wanted to touch on the public transit. My husband was a police officer in Oakland County. His township was forced to have public transit. Oakland County got to vote on 3 cities and townships having public transit, and soon after they saw crime increase substantially, which happens with public transit. It can't be denied, pro or con, we all know public transit brings crime. It's just a reality. With that, among other reasons, he decided to put in for early retirement because of the increase in crime was one of the factors. And as we can see, somebody who utilized the bus stop just last week was stabbed to death. And 5 years earlier, we had a stabbing at the bus stop at Middle Belt in Plymouth as well. These cannot be considered anomalies. These cannot be considered a coincidence. This is the kind of this is what happens when you do have public transit. It does not really benefit a community. It will pass, unfortunately, because Democratic lawmakers have made it to where we can't change, we can't opt out anymore. So basically, we're going to be strong-armed into having it, with 1.2 million voters, I believe, in, I think, Wayne County or something, and over 500,000 are in Detroit alone. So it's going to pass, we might need to be proactive about how we want to deal with maybe extra crime prevention, because that's coming. So you might want to get used to that. So, and just with that, again, with the fire and police millage, I think those should be split. I think that the fire department has done an outstanding job, but considering I have to basically defend myself and my family because Livonia police have failed on so many levels, we should divide those into 2.
That is time. Thank you. Good evening. Name and address, please. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you, Christopher Martin, resident of the great state of Michigan. Just want to touch on what Steve had mentioned, a little bit of wasteful spending. Mentioned this a couple of times. And this is the work detail. Saturday and Sunday, they're sitting in those vehicles that my taxpayer money went to, along with others. They're just sitting there, collecting their paycheck. Guys on the work program, sitting in their vehicles. See them right outside here at the old courthouse, Saturday and Sunday. Drive by, take a look. Mentioned this a couple of times before, and I had made a mistake. I thought the director, the female over there, whose name I can't pronounce, and I don't know how many people really can, I thought she was in charge of it. Chief judge is in charge of that program. That's who's in charge of it, folks. So anyway, one last thing. I was in the library today, and someone was misbehaving. You have to keep this in mind, folks. That library is open to everyone. We have homeless people there. We have people with mental issues. A number of months ago, it had gone on actually for months. Lady was in there and she likes to talk to herself. She's at the computer, okay? I don't have an issue with that as long as it's quiet. It wasn't. So then she would try to engage other people in a conversation, including myself. Finally, I got tired of that after the second time, and I told one of the employees over there, you got to get her under control. So third time around, the police were called. Female and male police officers showed up. Okay, had a little talk with her. Now when she gets loud and talks to herself, she actually now leaves. I had an incident today. Somebody over there. And talked with the director because the person at the desk on the second floor didn't do anything. And I told the director, I said, it's not my job as a resident and someone who uses the library to maintain order over here. I don't get paid to do that. And she said, the director said, I'll have a talk with her boss, which I found to be humorous because I've been in charge of people and I would consider her to be the boss. I told her flat out, I would have fired that gal today if I was the director of the library. And so I told her I would speak on this and tune in, and that's exactly, I'm not blindsiding anybody. I let her know, and I'm letting the people know out there, that's what took place.
That is time. Thank you. Anything from council before we jump into the agenda?
Excuse me, Madam Chair.
Ms.
I thought I was
Tashnik.
gonna sneeze. Just real quick, I just, when there's misinformation spread that we're not using any general fund money for public safety, that has to be corrected. 66% of our general fund does go to public safety, which is about $50 million. So we are using that money for public safety. If you want to learn more about the budget, like I said, the audit is on this upcoming Monday. As we are heading into budget season right now, we will have tentatively, right now, the Finance and Budget Committee meeting will be Monday, August 10th. And then at that point, at the following council meeting that month, we will be setting the public hearing for the budget. By charter, the mayor has to have the preliminary budget to us by September 15th, on or before September 15th. After that, we have a public hearing, we go through it, and then we will adopt it near the end of October at one of those meetings. So just know, as those dates get confirmed and voted on, we'll obviously share them with everyone, and they'll be on the website. But to say that we don't use general fund money for public safety is just not true. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. And then I would like to note there is new data for item number 9. All right, we will start. So item number 1, block party and street barricade request. This comes from Lauren Feigl to be held Sunday, June 28th, 2026 from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. along the 5-mile service road from 36996 to 36916 5-mile road. Is the petitioner here? Hi, you can come on down. Name and address, please.
Lauren Feigl, 36916 5 Mile.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about your event?
Yep. So this would be our 4th annual block party. We bring together the Orioles football program and then the Churchill High School program. My husband's the head coach. And my kids are on the Orioles. So we bring together the families and the coaches and get together for food. And then we can also see the fireworks after the spree from the boulevard of our house. But it makes it a little safer if we can barricade that little strip of our service drive there. So we just ask if we can do that and have our block party.
Thank you. Council?
Madam
Ms.
President,
Persicone?
I'm happy to offer an approving on consent.
Okay. Anything else from council? Anything from the audience? All right, item number 1 will be on the consent agenda on June 15th, 2026. Item number 2, another block party request. This comes from Colin Burkle to be held Saturday, July 4th, 2026 from 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Roycroft Street between Woodring and Loveland Streets. Mr. Burkle? Colin? Do you want to tell us about your event, please?
Colin Burkle, 15490 Woodring. I'm going to celebrate the 250 years of anniversary of America on the 4th of July with my friends and family on the street. It's going to be a great time.
Great. Council?
Madam Chair,
Mr.
approving on
Reckler?
consent.
Okay, anything from council? Anything from the audience? All right, that'll be on the consent agenda on June 15th. Item number 3, another block party request. This comes from James Rumroll, Ray Frangis, and Mark Miller to be held Saturday, August 29th, 2026 from 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Brentwood Street between Jacqueline Drive and Meadowlark Street with the rain date of Sunday, August 30th, 2026. Good evening, sir. Name and address, please.
Ray Frangis, 14430 Brentwood Street. This is our 23rd annual Black Party, and same old, same old.
Great. Council?
Madam President.
Ms. Persicone?
Happy to offer an approving on consent.
Anything else from council? Anything from the audience? Awesome. It'll be on the, number 3 will be on the consent agenda on June 15th.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Item number 4, this is a request for designation as a nonprofit organization. This comes from Barbara Sexton from Kindred Spirits Quilters of Livonia, as required by the state of Michigan to obtain a charitable gaming license to allow a raffle fundraiser in the future. Good evening, ma'am. Name and address, please.
Barbara Sexton, 20604 Chestnut Circle.
Thank you. Did you want to say anything about this, or?
Just if you have any questions, we're a social club that gets together for quilting, and we have a lot of fun.
Great. Mr. McCullough?
Listen, you send us some information. I'd be happy to offer an approving on consent. But if the city, I think Erica's here too, will take one of those cards and send an email in. I'm sure we could maybe help spread awareness to it if you want. If not, it sounds like just a good social club.
The raffle we have is a closed event raffle where you have to know a member of the guild or the club to attend it. So what we do is that's just one of the way that we fundraise, because we also make quilts for charity, and that's one of the ways that we raise the money for that.
I'm going to come to the event because I know you. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Any comments from the audience on this one? Item number 4 is on the consent agenda for June 15th, 2026. Thank you. You're all set. Item number 5, this is a request to waive the driveway ordinance requirement, and this from, I'm sorry, I'm going to butcher your name, Aquilo Garcia, to allow the current driveway approach to remain in excess of 2 feet 4 inches. Good evening, sir. Oh, Mr. Zelinsik?
Madam President,
You want to talk on this one?
If I could go ahead and just give a
Sure.
little background before he talks, whatever. So again, through the engineering department, you need to pull a permit through us to do the work within the right of way. Unfortunately, the driveway was over 25 feet, and this requires the gentleman who's doing the work for this resident to come and get a waiver or official request from the ordinance to go over 25 feet. I personally don't have an issue with it because it's only 2 foot 4 inches, but again, we got to hold everyone to a certain standard because we might have 30-foot, 40-foot driveways out there. So I just want to give a little background before the gentleman speaks. He's doing the right thing. He wanted to check, make sure everything's all in order. So this is just a formality, and hope that based on his information that you guys will vote accordingly based on the information we provided tonight. So thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, sir. Name and address, please.
Aurelio Garcia, Southgate, Michigan.
Thank you, counsel. Mr. McCullough?
I'd be happy to offer an approving on consent. Considering right now it's 9:43 and you've been through this entire time, I think that's worth.
I
think that's worth the 2 feet.
Okay. Anything else from council? Anything from the audience? All right. Item number 5 will be on the consent agenda on June 15th.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank
Have a good night. Item number 6, this is a waiver petition 2026-03-02-11 submitted by Mason Rose Events requesting waiver use approval to operate a banquet or event facility with occupancy of over 50 people at 37176 6 Mile Road, located at the northeast corner of Newburgh Road and 6 Mile Road in the southwest quarter of Section 8. Mr. Tornimina, did you want to talk on this one, or the petitioner? You can come on down.
Thank you. Just a few comments ahead. This is a special land use petition involving a banquet facility or event space. It's regulated under Section 6.14 of the zoning code. This is at the Key Bank Commons Plaza, which is on the north side of 6 Mile Road, just east of Newburgh Road. Zoning is C2. The plaza, as everyone knows, is it's a multi-tenant plaza. It's about 39,000 square feet of space divided into 2 buildings. This space is in the extreme northwest portion of the property. The space is about 4,300 square feet. Banquet facilities that exceed 1,000 square feet or more than 50 people do have to go through this process. The Planning Commission did review it and approved the petition with the stipulation that the waiver be for this petitioner only and not be transferable unless it goes before council. The petitioners indicated that the events will operate no later than 11 p.m. However, that is not a stipulated condition of the Planning Commission's approval. Parking was a concern expressed by some of the adjacent property owners. We analyzed it. It does meet the code. There would appear to be more than enough parking available on the site. We also took a look at how this use would operate at the same time, the peak hours of the other businesses in the plaza would run. We don't see an issue with parking given the size of this. If there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Thank you.
Okay. Good evening, sir. Did you want to say anything? Name and address, please.
Yeah, my name is Alfonso Wineclaw. I live in Canton.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead if you want to add anything.
Yeah, I prepared basically a summary. I didn't know they were going to summarize for me. So
He's just really good at his job.
Yeah, so I can read it.
If you want to, go ahead.
Okay. My wife and I currently own a event decor company. It started off as her passion, and then it slowly grew into, now we do it professionally. So we've been doing that for a couple of years, and we've built a really big clientele, and we go to different event centers and decorate. And this is kind of like the natural progression to our business. Our goal is to enhance the Livonia community, not create a nuisance. My wife and I are both healthcare professionals, and our vision extends beyond simply operating an event space. We want to create a safe, welcoming environment where families, neighbors, and community members can gather to celebrate life's special moments while also benefiting from educational and wellness-focused programming. During the week, we plan to host community-centered activities such as yoga, Tai Chi, CPR and first aid training, health and wellness workshops, self-defense classes during Domestic Violence Awareness Month, breast cancer awareness events, back-to-school community programs, and seasonal gatherings such as breakfast with Santa during the holiday season. Our intention is to be a positive addition to the area, operate responsibly, and work collaboratively with the community. We are committed to maintaining a safe, well-managed facility that reflects positively on Livonia and provides meaningful opportunities for residents to connect, learn, and celebrate together.
Thank you. Council?
Madam Chair.
Ms. Tashnik?
So I have a couple questions. I did watch the Planning Commission meeting on this. What are your hours of operation that you're proposing?
So it's going to be per event. So we're not just open to the public all day where you can walk in from the street. My wife and I have decided that we would have a 10 o'clock end time for all events, and then they would have to be out by 11.
So at 10 p.m. end the event, and then
Yeah.
an hour to clean up? Okay. How are you going to handle alcohol?
So we're not going to serve or sell alcohol, but we won't forbid clients from hiring a licensed bartender to come in and serve.
Would that be a stipulation? They'd have to have a licensed bartender, or they could just bring in a six-pack if they wanted?
Absolutely a stipulation, and there'll be a contract they have to sign, and yeah, we'll make sure we monitor that.
So for
closely.
underage drinking, you'd be able to monitor then?
Absolutely.
And I know in the Planning Commission, they talked a lot about security. You said you or your wife would be there, but it seems like one person to watch 100-plus people doesn't seem like sufficient. So maybe you want to address security.
Yeah. So we plan to have on-site security, a company for all evening events or large events, on top of either her or I being present.
Okay. And then I guess the other big question that I didn't really feel got answered at the Planning Commission, people step out to have a smoke, let's say, or they go out the back. How are you going to control some of that movement? Like, because the back is kind of more near the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the back is going to be off limits for clients. That door will be locked, and they'll know the host of the party will know from the beginning during our consultation that part is off limits.
Okay.
And our security will also enforce that.
Okay.
As far as like smoking, I mentioned in the planning committee that we would be willing to put one of those small enclosures near the front on the side. A couple of the other buildings in the area have those, if need be, if it becomes an issue.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay. Anything else from council? Ms. McDonald?
Just through the chair. Hi, welcome.
Hi.
I guess on the alcohol, and maybe Mr. Taramino would be able to share with that, if they are going to hire an outside bartender, would they have to get a permit from the city to serve alcohol?
The answer is no. So this would be an unlicensed facility. It means that alcohol, if it's going to be consumed on the premises, there can be no consideration for the alcohol. And by no consideration, that means there can be
They
no
can't
fee
pay.
for entry,
Right.
no fee for even mixers or anything. If there's any fee attached with entering the event, then that would violate the Michigan Liquor Control regulations. So it would be strictly served for free events. And that is something that is common in these types of small event centers. We see that quite often. Okay. Larger event spaces, banquet facilities will have a separate Class C. They'll strictly control the alcohol distribution and sales through a license from the MLCC, but that would not be the case here. So it would be limited. And if you stipulate that it has to be a licensed bartender only that can serve the alcohol, then, and he's agreed to it, then
Right.
That's fine.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Mr. McCullough?
I'll be happy to offer an approving on consent if it's okay with the or does it got to be Regular?
I don't know that it has to be regular, but you do there will have to be a separate resolution that waives the 300-foot separation
So
requirement.
let's do,
Regular.
I'll do an approving on regular with the stipulation of 11 PM and a licensed bartender. Is that all right with you?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you,
Any comments from the audience? Okay, item number 6 will be on the regular agenda on June 15th, 2026. Item number 7, this is a waiver petition 2026-04-02-12 submitted by Second Showing LLC, requesting waiver use approval to operate a consignment furniture establishment at 20412 Farmington Road, located on the east side of Farmington Road between 8 Mile Road and Norfolk Street in the northwest quarter of Section 3. Mr. Tormina.
The applicant is not present. I did meet with them earlier today. And if you're wondering why this is even before you, it's because technically consignment shops fall under the definition of a secondhand store, which is treated as a waiver in our commercial zoning districts. This particular business, Second Showing, has been in operation now for a couple of years at this location. It's a small 3-tenant complex located just south of Better Health on Farmington Road, south of 8 Mile Road. Small operation, nice furniture, nice accessories. Everything about the business appears to be very clean and doesn't pose any of the issues that we sometimes see with secondhand stores and pawn shops and things of that nature. The only thing I would suggest that we stipulate with any motion approving this request would be that it be limited to this particular operator. Thank you.
Thank you, Counsel. Ms. Persicone?
I'm happy to offer an approving on consent with that stipulation that it be limited to this operator.
Okay, Counsel, anything else? Any comments from the audience? Okay, item number 7 will be on the consent agenda on June 15th, 2026. Item number 8, this is an appointment of a substitute magistrate for the 16th District Court per Administrative Order number 3035, appointing Timothy J. Kliss as a substitute magistrate pursuant to Public Act 16 of the Public Acts of 1976, MCLA Section 600.85012. Good evening, sir. Name and address, please.
Madam President, members of council, my name is Jim Jolly. I'm one of Livonia's 2 16th District Court judges. I'm here today to introduce Tim Kliss as a substitute magistrate that needs to be approved by the funding unit, which Livonia is. Tim Kliss has been an attorney now for 30 years. He's a respected member of the legal community in Livonia. He served as a past president of the Livonia Bar Association, and he is a graduate of the Livonia Citizens Police Academy, among other things. He's also mentored, at this point, probably a couple generations of law students and lawyers as well. We think that he has the proper temperament and knowledge and community footing to serve as a substitute magistrate. This is important for, most importantly, our full-time magistrate, Roger Spence, so that he can take vacations. Mr. Kliss would be filling in for him somewhere between 2 and 3 weeks a year. So if you have any questions at all for me or Mr. Kliss, here he is.
Sure, Counsel. Mr. McCullough?
Since you're my ZBA appointment, what is it? I'm just messing. No, with that, he already explained. So I've known Tim for a while. Great, awesome guy. Judge Jolly, you failed to also identify he is a huge, I think you have the biggest KISS collection known to man. And
In Livonia.
Yeah, right.
I'll leave it at that.
But no, one of the best, and I'd be happy to offer an approving on consent. I think it's punishment enough that you got to work with the guy behind you, but that's besides the point.
Any other comments from council? Any comments from the audience? Name and address, please. You have 2 minutes.
Christopher Martin, great state of Michigan. I don't want to make you two guys nervous over there, okay? I'm in favor of this, and I'll tell you why. An attorney that I had good friends with, Frank Kokonakis, when he lived in the great state of Michigan, he was my attorney, and he represented me. He wasn't really necessarily a team player. And so he thought highly of Tim over here, and so Roger Spence, I've known him for a while. I've watched Tim on the ZBA, and so I'm in favor of this. I've read all the background on him, like I'm sure every one of you did, okay, that's in your package. okay, because that's your job. And so I'm sure you all read it. So I'm in favor of this. I know it might sound a little strange coming from me, a regular attendee in the court system, but I'm in favor of this. Okay?
Thank you. Any other comments from the audience? All right, item number 8 will be on the consent agenda on June 15th. Did you want to say anything?
I just thank the council and thank Judge Jolly and Judge Kavanaugh for their support. I was called by Jim on a Friday, and he said, you know, we have this potential offer for you, backup magistrate. I go, I'll take it. And he goes, well, think about it over the weekend and get back to me. And I did, and yeah, we're happy. I sat in with Roger today and met the court clerk and the court officer and Roger, and I'm just kind of shadowing him right now. There's a lot of training and stuff that I have to do, but I'm looking forward to it.
Did he make you wear that same tie? Like you guys almost match.
just by chance.
So, and I just want to give a shout out to his daughter Andy as well. Andy Kliz is probably the smartest legal mind in his family.
Oh, yeah.
She's currently a law student at UCLA.
Right.
On a full ride. He may have had something to do with that as well. So,
Congrats, that's a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Item number 9, request to adopt a resolution placing special assessments upon referenced properties whose owners have not paid charges in connection with the 2025 sidewalk program, contract 25-G, single lot assessments. Good evening, Ms. Nash.
Good evening, Susan Nash, City Treasurer. As it stated, this is for the homes that or businesses that have sidewalks that have been replaced. We did notify people, and we have received, and I believe you have in your packet about 9 or 10 of people that have asked for it to be broken down into payments. And also you have the list of people that, residents and properties, that they have until the end of September to make a payment. And then on October 1st, there is an interest that is put onto it. And at that point, they have until November 1st. And if they have not paid it yet, then it goes on to the December 1st tax bill.
Thank you. Council? Ms. McDonald?
I'd like to offer approving on consent, please.
Thank you. Any other comments from council? Any comments from the audience? Good evening, sir. Name and address, please. You have 2 minutes.
Is this a study meeting where you can talk about more than one thing? You know what I'm saying? So, because there's the next item I wanted to talk.
Yeah, no, we're on item 9. Yeah, you can get up
Okay.
for an
Okay.
item after that.
I was just wondering, is there like hundreds of these? It looked like there was like a bunch
Approximately 184, I believe.
Yeah, hundreds of them. And so, but is that because they didn't want a sidewalk? I mean, I don't understand just curious.
Well, it could be sidewalk replacement, there could have
Okay,
been.
okay. I just thought the list was huge. That's all.
Okay, any other comments from the audience? All right, item number 9 will be on the consent agenda on June 15th, 2026.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 10, award of bid for custodial supplies from budgeted funds. Mr. Hoppola? Good evening again.
Good evening. Zach Hoppola, Assistant Public Works Director. Tonight we're just looking to award the bid to Cintas for our cleaning products, select cleaning products though for our buildings. So our custodial supervisor did a walking audit of all of our buildings, verified all of our different cleaning products that we have, and determined which ones had the best cost benefit for us. So you'll see as part of our letter, a lot of those have to do with any of our cleaning chemicals, right? So those are more wholesale product that we can get from Cintas. They're set at a specific amount every single time that we're mopping, every single time soap is dispensed. So there's a massive cost savings. Also microfiber cloths, again, different items that they can distribute at a wholesale price that we cannot obtain on our own. And again, this is also through both Omnia and MIN's state bid pricing.
Thank you. Council? Mr. McCullough?
I'd be happy to offer an approving on consent. I was happy you mentioned Omnia because, again, when people see just the line items, the cooperative purchase agreement is always such good leverage prices. There are some bad actors out there that you have to sift through, but this one's a good one. Well done.
Thank you. Any other comments from council? Any comments from the audience? Name and address, please. You have 2 minutes.
Yeah, I just think when there's bids like this, the dollar amount should be put out there in the public. I saw it was bid at like $7,000, but the total contract is almost $140,000. And this is a no-bid contract, I believe. I believe you waived the bid process, and I think you went through my deal. But I don't know, I think every contract of this size should go out to bid. Thank you.
Any other comments from the audience? Okay, item number 10 will be on the consent agenda on June 15th, 2026. Thanks.
Madam Chair, I would like to respond to that if I could.
Sure.
My deal is actually preset pricing that is bid out by the state of Michigan. So that's how that process works. It's very effective.
Thank you. Item number 11, this is a request to authorize appropriation and expenditure for removal and installation of streetlights for the Idlewild Golf Course West parking lot at 35786 5 Mile Road.
Madam President, City Council members, this is an issue regarding a light pole that was hit at the parking lot in November. I believe maintenance was looking to get the light repaired at a cost of almost $11,000. Looked at a solution of actually getting DT involved as they did at Senior Center, installing, I think, 32 lights over there, getting a price from them in the amount of $26,889. That basically boils down to approximately $2,445 per light. There will be 11 lights with 138 watts LED instead of the current standard where if it breaks down, then the building maintenance people have to go out and hire a contractor to replace those lights. So again, in an effort to save money for the city, we are looking at having DTE replace those lights at a cost, as I stated before, for $26,889. And if it gets hit again in perpetuity, they will come out and fix the light and replace the base. So again, one light for $11,000, or we can get 11 lights for $26,000 out of the 401 account for capital improvements. There's a arrangement with One Under where the upper parking lot is owned by the city. The bottom parking lot is shared 50-50 with the owner of One Under to maintain. So just wanted to give that little bit of history there for the city council members. Again, just looking to save money. And again, LED lights, less emissions, and again, more efficiency for us.
Thank you. Council?
Madam Chair.
Ms. Tashnik?
This sounds like a no-brainer. When I was reading it, I was like, why would we? And then I realized the quantity difference there. So,
Same.
yeah, it took me 2 reads, but I did my homework. So I'd be happy to offer an approving on consent. And it's good to know that when Mr. McCullough backs into these lights, we can replaced in perpetuity.
It's not going to be this last time.
Anything else from council? Any comments from the audience on this one? Item number 11 will be on the consent agenda on June 15, 2026. Item number 12, appointment of Daniel Steele to the Zoning Board of Appeals by Council President Kaylee Reed for a 3-year term, which will expire on July 12th, 2029. Mr. Steele, do you want to come down and introduce yourself?
Good evening, President Reed and council members. My name is Dan Steele. I think you have a copy of my resume, but I've been a Livonia resident my entire life, practicing attorney for about 15. I appreciate President Reed putting me up for this position, and I look forward to serving the Livonia community.
Council?
Madam Chair.
Ms. Tashnik?
So, Mr. Steele, do you know what you're getting yourself into here?
I think so.
You just sat through that whole meeting.
I know, right?
So.
No, as a former member of the ZBA, it's a lot of fun. But anyway, I'd be happy to offer an approving on consent. You had a very impressive resume, and I look forward to seeing you serve.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any comments from council? Any comments from the audience? All right, item number 12 will be on the consent agenda on June 15th, 2026. Thank you, Mr. Steele. Item number 13, appointment of Christopher Bolovin to the Zoning Board of Appeals by Councilmember Martha Tashnik for a 3-year term, which will expire on July 12th, 2029. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Madam President and council members. Christopher Bolovin, Livonia, Michigan.
Madam Chair.
Ms. Tashnik.
First of all, I just want to take a minute to thank Brian Marr for his service to the ZBA. He represented himself and the city honorably during his tenure on ZBA. Unfortunately, he needs to vacate his position, so tonight I'm incredibly proud to put forward the appointment of Mr. Bolovin here to the ZBA. As many of you know, the seat requires an individual who can hit the ground running, and Chris is uniquely qualified to do that. He's a former, well-respected member of the ZBA, and in fact, when I was on ZBA, I did serve with Chris, and I knew that when this seat became vacant, he was the first one I thought of, and I had to, thought I was going to have to twist his arm to get him to come back, but I'm glad he said yes. He's an attorney. He possesses a vast and deep understanding of the zoning laws and really mentored me through the process when I was on ZBA. And I'm thrilled to be able to ask for your support in putting Mr. Bolivin on the Zoning Board of Appeals.
Okay, Council? Ms. Persconi?
Thank you, Madam President. I'm happy to offer an approving on consent. Your reputation precedes you, Mr. Bolivin. I am looking forward to getting to know you, but I've heard wonderful things about your past service, so.
Thank you. Any comments from council?
Thank you, council members.
Sorry, there's an audience comment.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Name and address, please. You have 2 minutes.
Christopher Martin, great state of Michigan. Yeah, don't go away too soon over there. Nice to have somebody come back who's actually been there, okay? And I'm going to forgive you that you're an attorney, okay? Because now, I don't know how many attorneys we've got there now. We got Michael Fisher, who's sitting over there at some point. He's nodding off. And we've got all these other attorneys up on the ZBA. At some point, though, the ZBA really needs to be broadcast. I'm really an advocate of that because if you don't like their decision, you got 21 days to appeal it to circuit court. That's a big deal. I've been through that. That's a big deal, okay? And people need to see who's there and who's knowledgeable. So at some point in time, as at these meetings and I see money spent on other things, hanging flowers and on the lampposts and stuff like that, we really need to have the ZBA meetings broadcast. Can't let the citizens not watch that. But like I said, I forgive you for being an attorney, but your past experience on the ZBA, I think, would be a good addition. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments from the audience? Okay, item number 13 will be on the consent agenda on June 15th, 2026.
Thank you.
That concludes our study agenda. Any closing remarks from the audience that did not speak at the beginning of the study meeting? Any closing remarks from council?
I was hoping Mr. Martin would leave those plants, but other than that.
All right, good night, Livonia. We'll see you in a couple weeks.